Mercury. It's the closest of all to the sun. But don't rush to dream of a suntan. During the day, Mercury's surface reaches 430 degrees Celsius, 806 degrees Fahrenheit. And at night, it plummets to minus 180 degrees Celsius, minus 292 degrees Fahrenheit. This extreme temperature swing is due to the almost complete lack of an atmosphere, just a thin exosphere incapable of retaining either heat or air. At first glance, the weather here is not a problem. No rain, no storms, but you'll have to deal with intense solar radiation and an environment absolutely unfit for breathing. Mercury receives almost 7 times more solar energy than Earth and has no way to dissipate it. It's a tiny ball of rock covered in craters with sharp cliffs that would make your landing a pure lottery. Atmospheric drag is nearly zero. There is simply nothing to slow you down. Landing during the day is like jumping into hell. NASA spacesuits withstand up to 121 degrees Celsius, 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and here is many times hotter. And the night is no better, minus 180 degrees Celsius, a deadly cold that not even the most expensive thermal protection can save you from. There is only one chance, to try to land in the zone of eternal twilight between light and shadow. But even there, the temperature is capable of changing rapidly and mercilessly. Venus. On the surface, it looks like a paradise sphere with a soft yellow glow, but in reality, it is hell beneath the clouds. Just 40 million kilometers away, and you can already feel the heat in your chest. The atmosphere of Venus is a poisonous mix of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. These clouds corrode everything, from your suit to your lungs. If your suit is not flawless, you will perish before even touching the surface. Sunlight barely penetrates the dense atmosphere. Here it is perpetual twilight, yet the temperature consistently hovers around 450 degrees Celsius, 842 degrees Fahrenheit. You feel like you are moving through a thick liquid. Breathing is impossible, and visibility is almost zero. The pressure is 92 times higher than on Earth, like being at the bottom of the ocean. Only on Venus, the ocean is the air pressing from all sides. If your suit springs a leak, that's it. You'll be crushed, fried, and eaten by acid in a matter of seconds. The beauty of Venus is fatally deceptive. Mars, the planet that humans want to colonize. It's not so terrible compared to the others. A pleasant 20 degrees Celsius during the day, but a chilling minus 130 degrees Celsius, minus 202 degrees Fahrenheit at night. There is an atmosphere, but it is very thin, almost entirely carbon dioxide with a fraction of a percent of oxygen. You can only breathe here with a tank on your back. The pressure is hundreds of times lower than on Earth. But the main threat is radiation, tens of times higher than on Earth. Building a home on Mars is equivalent to building it in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Add to this the giant dust storms with wind speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour, and even a short stay becomes a challenge. Nevertheless, among all the planets, Mars remains the most hospitable candidate for colonization, if you like living in a spacesuit, that is. Jupiter, a true giant, and a monster with it. Radiation will kill you long before you get close. But suppose you're in a nanosuit protected from any dose of radiation. Gravity here is 2.4 times higher than Earth's. You'll plummet into the atmosphere like a cannonball. The first layer is ammonia clouds, a temperature of minus 150 degrees Celsius, minus 238 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds around 480 kilometers per hour, 300 miles per hour. Welcome to a planet-sized storm. Diving deeper, you enter a zone where gas turns into a supercritical fluid, something that cannot be called either a gas or a liquid. You don't fall. You seem to swim in a dense abyss. Further down is metallic hydrogen. The pressure is monstrous and the temperature rises to tens of thousands of degrees. And Jupiter's core, possibly solid, possibly not, I haven't checked, but if you reach it, it will be your final destination. Saturn. Saturn attracts its rings, and if you get closer, you will be struck by winds at 1,800 kilometers per hour, 1,118 miles per hour. It's like being caught in a hurricane from which there is no escape. The beauty of the northern storm is just a mask. A huge vortex the size of which could fit a couple of Earths waits to swallow you. You plunge, first into gas, then into liquid, then into impenetrable darkness. The pressure builds, the temperature rises to 10,700 degrees Celsius, 21,092 degrees Fahrenheit. If you are not a Marvel hero, it's best not to come here. Uranus, the non-conformist planet that seems to have laid on its side and decided, I'm not like everyone else. The coldest in the whole system, down to -224 degrees Celsius, -371 degrees Fahrenheit. The atmosphere is a mixture of gas and poison. The first layer is an icy substance with hail. Only it's not ice, it's diamonds. Yes, you heard right. Under immense pressure, methane breaks down and diamonds form, raining down like hail. But this hail doesn't mean you're fabulously rich. It's merely the harbinger of your end. The pressure on Uranus reaches 100 Earth atmospheres, and your suit would have been crushed long ago. You are already diamond dust, heading for the core.
Neptune, the last giant, the most remote and the darkest. On the surface, there is unbearable cold, eternal wind, and an icy void. But inside, it's the opposite. Neptune's core is a furnace at 7,000 degrees, 12,632 degrees Fahrenheit. Here too, there is a diamond rain caused by the same methane. The wind here is the fastest in the solar system, up to 2,100 kilometers per hour. That's the speed of a MiG-25 or an American F-15. If you try to penetrate inside, the wind will sweep you away, the pressure will compress you, and the remnants will melt in the core.
Pluto. If you step onto Pluto, you've made a mistake. There is no air, the pressure is close to zero, and the temperature is -230 degrees Celsius, -382 degrees Fahrenheit. Even the sunlight here is dead, dim, like the last thought before you fade. You took a breath, but your lungs tore apart long ago. The blood in your veins boiled from the vacuum. The cold doesn't bite, it shatters tissue, turning you into an ice statue before death even arrives. And then silence. Absolute. No one will hear your scream, no one will find you. You've vanished in the forgotten darkness at the edge of the solar system among icy plains and shadows.